let's get started. How do you manage during COVID? So one of the greatest quotes that I've heard during this time is that we may not be in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm. And I think that's an important way to open this, that we may be different ages and stages of life, but we all are in this storm together. So we might be riding along in different boats, but we're definitely all experiencing COVID in some way or another. There is not one person that has not been impacted by COVID in some way. Some might be bigger than others, but it's not our job to compare who has greater challenge. The fact of the matter is we're all experiencing challenges at this point. So what do we do? What is the best way to come out on the other side of COVID stronger than when we went in? I'm going to give you 7 pointers. So if you're someone that likes to take notes, now is the time to grab a pencil or a pen or open up your iPhone and your notes section. I'm going to tell you 7 keys. And believe me, these are 7 keys I've had to tell myself during this time as well. So some might be what you expect and some might be new, but these are the 7 keys to being stronger on the other side of COVID. The first one sounds a little bit soft, but it's the reality of where we are. Recognize and name your feelings. So why is that important? And before you just close me off and say, oh, no, not that. Here's what I would say. If we try to pretend like we haven't felt stress, or that we're all just getting through this just fine, there's no issue, or it's not that big of a deal, or someone else has it worse than me, so I'm not going to deal with it. What we're really doing is sort of pushing that aside or pushing that down. And our bodies weren't made to push our feelings down. They will come out, and usually those feelings that are pushed down will come out in physical ways. So yes, our mental health, if we don't address that, we will see the impact of that in our physical health, and that's researched. So the first thing is to recognize, yes, we're all experiencing this. It might be something that has made us sad or mad or frustrated or confused, uncertainty, whatever it is, we're all feeling something. And that doesn't make us weak. It doesn't make us broken. It makes us human. That's what it makes us during this time. So the first step is just to recognize the fact that we're all experiencing something. We're all feeling something, and those feelings can change multiple times during the day and even during each hour. What do you do with that? Because this is a time of uncertainty. We can't control a lot of things. But number 2 is to focus on what you can control versus what we can't control. We can't control how long it's going to last. We can't control if the person in the aisle at Kroger has their mask on. We can't control if people are washing their hands, but we can control some things, and that's whether or not we take our own necessary precautions seriously, whether or not we wash our hands. We can control how we respond to other people. We can control our attitude. We can also control our self-care. And I love that the Y has been posting these videos that you can do at home, and they stay out there. So you can, anytime you're feeling particularly stressed, you can open up the videos and do some, even if it's just 10 minutes of a video, it's going to make a difference for you. So instead of focusing on what we don't know and what we can't control, focus on what you can control. Number 3, one of the things that we can control to focus on is eliminating toxic influences. And I'm not talking about toxic influences like metals and things like that. I'm talking about what we put into our mind. Right now you're on social media, and I never in a million years thought I would ever say I appreciate technology. But during COVID, I have found myself almost on a daily basis saying, thank God for technology that we can connect in this way. The downside of technology, as we all know it, is that we are absolutely inundated with news and despair and reports of what could happen. And the problem is our brains do not sort out what is real and what is experienced. And so if we expose ourselves to ongoing despair ongoing negativity, ongoing stories that are just sad and depressing, guess what we're going to begin feeling? Those things. And so, yes, we want to be informed, but eliminate the excess, eliminate toxic influences, people who are constantly negative. I know for me, when someone says, yeah, you know what they said, and I will say, hey, wait, are you talking about the CDC? Are you talking about the health department? Are you talking about some news article that you read on social media or that you watched on TV? Because if it's news, I really am only going to get my information from the CDC and the health department, governor's office. Other than that, I really have to focus. So eliminate toxic influences that might weigh you down, especially mentally. Number 4, creating healthy routines. And again, I don't know how many times I can say it, but I love that the Y is putting this out there. And I love that they have live videos to be able to exercise and move your body. But healthy routines are especially important right now because it's easy to let ourselves go. And so what does that mean? Rest, hydration, movement, anything, eating things that are healthy. These will make sure that we stay in our logical part of our brain. We can't really make rational decisions when we've stayed up all night, eaten bad food, not had enough water, and not moved our bodies. So creating healthy routines is important to support your mental health during this time. Number 5, support and connect with other people. This is probably the hardest one because we all feel really isolated right now. Thankfully, our stay-at-home order is changing, but I know even with that, we're getting a little bit more anxious because what does that mean? It opens up a lot of doors of things that we can't control, right? And so staying connected, being creative in how we're staying connected. This is one way that you're connected with someone else. Now, I might not be a loved one to you, but you can connect through FaceTime and through Zoom. Zoom has a free feature. I know that I have family who live different places in the state and out of state, and we've had family Zoom meetings and actually have really seen them more than I normally do. And so there are apps that help you stay connected in different and fun ways, and you can even play games online and just really whatever you can do to stay connected. Our bodies, our brains, and our hearts really were not created to operate in isolation. We were made for connection. So staying connected is key during this time. Number 6, reach out for help. So this is one that a lot of times, I think, especially in our culture, we seem to applaud people who can white knuckle their way through life. And unfortunately, white knuckling doesn't give us any sort of applause. It makes us tired. It makes us feel overwhelmed and can make us begin getting sick because it'll wear out our bodies. And so reaching out for help, again, like I said earlier, recognizing your emotions and recognizing this is a really challenging time doesn't make us weak. It makes us human. And there's not a human on the planet who hasn't needed help at some point in their lives. And right now we're experiencing something that most of us have never experienced in our whole life. And so, of course, we're going to need help to get through this. And so what I would say to you is there are all kinds of resources. Hendricks County Health Partnership. Remember that name, the Hendricks County Health Partnership. They have a website. And if you just Google Hendricks County Health Partnership or ask someone to help you find that, they have a link for resources. And these resources are everything from counseling to food to anything, all kinds of resources available. So reach out for help, even if it's practical, if it's you need somebody to talk to, whatever it is, reach out for help. And then number 7, I want to just take a moment, and this might not apply for everyone, but all of us have a value system in place. And if you are a person of faith, if you have a particular faith that helps keep you grounded and positive and hopeful, this is a time to cling to that faith. Faith has been known to help people live longer, healthier, and more satisfied lives. That's what research shows. And people who have faith right now are able to cling to that when they feel uncertain and hopeless. And so if you have a faith, right now is the time to make sure that you're reaching out and holding on to that faith. So I'm going to review these 7 one more time in case you missed one or came late and don't want to, what we used to call rewind. I don't know what they call it nowadays. I still call it rewind, but if you don't want to rewind this, number 1 is recognizing your feelings. Number 2 is focusing on what you can control. Number 3, eliminate toxic influences. Number 4, create healthy routines. Number 5, support and connect with others. Number 6, reach out for help. And number 7, remember where to find true peace. Look for your value system in this. So that's what we would give to you. Again, if this raises any questions, I guess what I would also say to you is if you're finding yourselves getting really stressed, irritable, not able to sleep at night, your relationships are suffering because of how stressed you are, please reach out for help. Care to Change is here for you. And if it's not us helping you, we can find someone who can. I always say it doesn't have to be us as long as you get the help that you need. So please reach out. Know that you're not alone. The YMCA is here for you. I know they cannot wait until their building opens so that you can come back to the building, see each other in person. In the meantime, please take care of your mental health.